Whoa! No way! How to mistreat your dog and fail to get away with it. The full Hasanabi Collargate scandal. Apparently there's a lot of memes in this. Oh my god. No way! Alright, I'm ready.
Can't believe I'm about to talk about this. I mean, how the hell does a simple stream clip go so viral that it becomes a literal cultural phenomenon? I mean, this has truly taken the world by storm.
Is this a Clash of Clans meme, dude? This is crazy.
To the point where you're finding references of it in places you're never meant to find references of it in the first place. This has reached the Formula One community. The
Formula One?
Gacha community. And to my complete surprise, even the Counter-Strike 2 community.
I bet you if I asked my neighbors that live like down the road somewhere, I probably could ask them, be like, have you heard about the shot collar dog? They'd be like, probably. I kind of want to do that one day. Be like, huh, have you heard about this?
You'd see Anders, a legendary Counter-Strike commentator, make a direct reference to Hassan shocking his dog during a game. It would happen as soon as he'd see a player use a taser. Watch.
Oh, it could get worse. Towson on the corner. Gotta be careful. Hide your dogs. It's...
Nah, he did not just say that in a professional tournament.
Ari going down. That is...
This commentator buddy's like...
It's brutal, Saka.
Bro said hide your dogs.
I told you, man, I was watching a WoW streamer and then his dog was on the screen and he was like, watch out, I'm gonna tase you. He's obviously kidding, but like it's penetrated like so many like communities. It's so stupid and funny, man.
I had a viewer who had his 70-year-old coworker reference this to his face. Okay, he has no kids, no internet. And seeing that this blew up beyond proportion, of course, it has also reached news publications.
Yeah.
Ones as big as Forbes. So how did we even get here? Okay, how did this take the world by storm? And why does it keep getting worse? Well, let's talk about it. Alright, so the streamer at the center of this incident is none other than Hassan Piker, otherwise known by his Twitch username, Hasanabi.
Oh, his middle name is Dogan? How ironic.
Alright, this is one of the biggest political streamers on the planet. Whoa. And just like any political personality or political commentator, he has his fair share of enemies and his fair share of controversies. But that doesn't really interest us. What we want to know is how we got to the point where this became a global phenomenon. So what happened exactly? Well, this all began on October 7th, 2025, when Hassan was streaming and something particular would happen. Someone would clip that moment, post it on the subreddit livestream fail, and it would very quickly gain traction, going completely viral. The title for this post is Hassan reaching for something and seemingly shocking his dog to keep her in camera view. Now look, before we get into this, I used to know a girl who would literally cry at National Geographic documentaries, so if you're like that, feel free to skip a minute, okay? Because you'll be hearing his dog whimper in pain. Watch.
But it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America... Kaya, please just fucking go... Just stop.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You're being such a baby.
You're a little baby. Of course you...
It's just...
You startled her.
You're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom.
Right, so what the hell even happened here? Well, look, Hassan has a dog by the name of Kaya. You can see her sitting in the back.
So
as soon as she would step 1 foot off of the place where she was laying down, Hassan would get very annoyed, almost to an irrational degree. He would then look down at something, reach out to it, and after doing so, you'd hear the dog whimper as if he pressed a button. Now, of course, by this point, a lot of people were convinced that he shocked his dog for doing absolutely nothing, but many were still skeptical. Why would Hassan even shock his dog for doing something so minimal? Seeing that we're in the political space, smear campaigns are fairly common. You can very easily discredit your opponent's political stances by discrediting him in another way, which is why many people, especially in Hassan's community, were very skeptical about this. Now, that clip I just showed you that was posted on Livestream Fail would gain traction very quickly as he was still live. A viewer of his would alert him to how quickly it was going viral, and this is what he had to say. Watch.
Yes, I am incredibly abusive. to the not only best trained, but also the best behaving and most spoiled dog on the planet is from when Kaya yelped. Yeah, she yelped because she fucking clipped herself on something when she was getting off the bed.
The narrative
Right, so
is
Hasan
going to
explained
change.
himself. He said she clipped her nail on the bed, that's why she yelped. And he didn't mention anything about her collar. The thing is, though, people would quickly move on from the idea that he's shocking the dog and instead focus on the dog's position throughout his entire stream. Very quickly, someone would make a time lapse of that stream to show you just how long Kaya stays in the same exact position without moving. Just so you're aware, this was the stream in which she yelped. Now watch as she stays in the same position for over 4 hours.
What's going on, everybody?
My dog definitely does not stay in the same spot for 4 hours. He likes to just do whatever he wants. Sometimes he's in the bed, sometimes he's on the couch, sometimes he's in his dog bed. Sometimes he's in the dog bed next to the bed, because I have two. Yeah, so he can do whatever he wants. My cat doesn't stay in the same spot. My cat does, but it depends on what time of day. Like, sometimes I've caught him sleeping in the window for like 5 hours or more. But like, I don't bother him. I don't make him stay there.
I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Hasanabi broadcast.
She just stays there in the same position. She's not moving. She's barely moving, right? She's not even stretching. She's not even like doing anything a normal dog should be able to do. Like, I don't know, free roam around a little bit, walk around a little.
It is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential.
And this would be when she would try to maybe move a little bit,
It's the same
and he would react like crazy.
America, Kaya, please just fucking go. Stop.
There she is, laying down again, not really stretching, not really moving, right? And so far it's been 3 hours. It's gonna.
See, I could understand if it was like, I don't know, you're leaving for work and you have to leave your dog in a cage for like 4 or 5 hours. Like, I have had to do that. But that's because my dog tears up shit. How much does it actually bother you that Kaya's moving around? She's just kind of like, she's just chilling, man.
Go along to the 4-hour mark, and that's when she can finally
in a cage,
start to move. You'll see
in
this very shortly.
Bed. He has
and
a
here we
doggy
go.
bed in a
Right,
cage.
4 hours and 21 minutes of just laying there and not being allowed to move a single paw outside of that zone. So this is when you would start seeing the first.
To his dog if she interrupts his stream for half a second.
Iterations of
Oh no!
the memes. Hassan to his dog if she interrupts his stream for 0.5 seconds.
No.
And the outrage at this point was mostly directed at how he
I'm
wasn't
sorry,
allowing
this
his
is
dog
so
to even
fucking
stretch
silly.
a little bit, to even walk a little bit. At the irrational annoyance of how she just put one paw outside of her bed and he acted as if she broke something. It was a very excessive reaction and it made
Yeah,
people
I
start
agree.
asking questions. That's when certain people would start to unearth some old clips that would paint Hassan in a bad light in regards to his pet, like this one. Here we can see a guest on Hassan's
haven't
stream
seen
telling him
this
that
one.
the collar on Kaya's neck is way
I don't
too
think so.
tight. Watch.
And now it's mainstream. I love her. I think her collar's too tight.
Well, it's here we get.
It's you have to be able to get 2 fingers, and I couldn't even get one. I think you're choking her.
She's like, it's 'cause she has a lot of neck meat.
So look, I don't know if
Yeah, so get her a bigger collar. Again, I've done that too, where I bought a collar that was too tight and then I just immediately tossed it and got a new one. Cause yeah, you're obviously not wanting it to, rip off, but the dog's supposed to have like a loose, like form around its neck. Yeah, my dog has like neck meat too. He's a Shiba, so they have like a lot of floof like around here. This breed is a lot more neck meat, so.
this guest intended to make it sound so bad, but saying that the collar is so tight that she thinks that Hassan is choking her is definitely a wild thing to say. And his very chill reaction saying, oh yeah, it's because she has a lot of neck meat, made people question, wait, does he even care? It just simply wasn't a good look. And as people were starting to realize that this dog is kind of being used like a prop in every stream, being forced to sit there for hours on end without moving, some others, like XQC, simply refused to believe the idea that this wasn't a shock collar. XQC would make a direct comparison of how the collar would look before
Yeah, fucking XQC went full ADHD autismo detective mode.
and after her yelp. Right before the yelp, it would flash green. after the yelp was finished, it would go back to normal with no extra green light. By that point, this theory had started to catch on fire. This was still the second day, and people simply refused to believe that it was just her nail clipping on whatever bed she was sleeping on. So when Hasan would go live on October 8th, he would have one of his mods put this pinned message in his stream's chat, saying it is a collar with an AirTag and a vibration motor that is used to help with recall when she's free roaming and she's an off-leash trained dog.
Yeah, but like, I understand you're under a lot of pressure because he's a political streamer. I could understand that, but like the dog is just moving around. I feel like the dog is so well behaved. My dog is a naughty boy. He is not very well trained at all. I can make him sit, spin, or whatever and give me paw, but he does not like to listen. And when he's like sniffing around, sometimes he'll grab something and be naughty, but like I don't freak out at him if it's during stream or something. Not even like when I'm not doing anything. It's just like, aw, you little naughty little man, you know what you're doing. You try to steal? I call him a thief. I call him a rogue.
So by that point, Hasan and his mod team no doubt noticed all the theories running around, especially thanks to people like XQC, that this was indeed a shock collar. This pinned comment was an attempt to clear the air and silence those rumors before they got out of control. But even if this was the case, he still wasn't saying whether he actually pushed a button to...
Yeah, there was a lot of people who are saying he was reaching for his Zine or whatever it's called, the chewing nicotine.
Vibrate or shock her. During that stream on October 8th, people would start to ask him, hey, like, what did you reach out for? What did you do with your hand before she yelped? Well, he would claim that he was actually reaching for a nicotine pouch to put in his mouth, even though he put nothing in his mouth. Watch.
Large dog, what were you reaching for in the clip?
Is that what's called in Russian snooze?
That's where all my fucking Zintins are.
But of course, in the stream, even if you were to skip past, like, I don't know.
And again, it's just so many factors to this. It looks so bad.
A half an hour, 15 minutes, whatever you want, you would never see him reach out for a Zin or put anything in his mouth. This, to many, just felt like another bogus excuse. Things weren't adding up. You'd start to see certain...
They made a Hearthstone hero card. Battle cry, cast lightning bolt on every beast in your opponent's hand, deck, and a battlefield. Wait, that's really good. Yeah, if you're running against a lot of beast hunters, oh, shoosh.
Memes come up like this Hearthstone card right here saying cast lightning bolt on every beast in your opponent's hand, deck, and battlefield. You see this very detailed meme of Slay the Spire in which you channel one lightning. And of course, you can't go wrong with a classic Minecraft meme in which he's herding his dog from a distance. Facing insurmountable global pressure at this point, Hasan would finally decide to show the collar on stream. It would be very brief, and he'd be hoping to finally silence the critics so that he can move on from this incident or controversy. That. Watch.
Yeah.
It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. Are you happy? That's it. Good. There's the AirTag. There's the fucking vibrator. It also has a flashlight component to it at nighttime, and it also has a tracker on it when she gets lost. If she were to actually get fucking lost.
Someone would make a comment saying, bro's handling it like a magician handles a deck of cards, and I can't help but agree here. The way he's showing it is very quick. Yeah, that's what I said the first time it's almost like he's trying to hide it or not show it for too long. I don't know. It just seems suspicious. It's like, why are you...
Yeah, he's also holding it in a really weird way. Like, why are you being so, like, hidden? You know, hidden ninjutsu.
So shy. And while people were definitely suspicious of this, it kind of seemed off. His community was very happy because now they finally had proof that he wasn't shocking his dog. He wasn't an animal abuser. They could finally send this clip to the haters and say, hey, see, he's went through this. This is a vibration collar, no shock prongs, and would even go further and say that all his friends, all the big streamers and content creators that have duo streamed with him in his own house would have definitely said something if he actually was shocking his dog for no reason. But even though this topic was gaining a lot of traction online, Hasan was still completely unaware that this was just the beginning because a very big content creator would go ahead and make a video about it. On October 9th, just a couple of days after the initial incident, Moist Critical would upload a video titled Crazy Day on Twitch. He would also point out how things weren't really making much sense, how his explanations were definitely inconsistent with reality. And even though Hasan kept using the excuse that this was a well-trained dog and this was part of her training, Moist Critical would go on to give his perspective on training since he has a dog himself. You see, that little corner that Kaya is meant to sit on is her place. When you give a dog a place, it's meant to be their safe, comfy spot. This is done for many reasons, but it could be...
Yeah, you don't want to, like, zap them while they're in their bed or in their cage or in their, like, safe space. It's just bad. Like, it's a bad, because dogs are, like, really associative with, like, good and bad and, like, being told off. Depending on the dog, it's also dependent on the personality. Like, my dog does not like getting told no. So I don't use that word anymore because he knows that no is bad, so I say off. So, like, they're really smart in that way. But if you use physical things, like a vibration collar or a shock collar, depending on the dog, it can also be bad as well, like, with how you use it. And I don't think it's appropriate to do it, man. Yeah.
Way, for example, for the dog to just chill out. If the dog's hyperactive, just can't calm down, and for whatever reason jumps on people, for example, from excitement, and you might have a kid or an elderly person in your house, then telling your dog, place, tells them to calm down, sit in that comfortable spot, and just enjoy their time for a little while. What Moist Critical points out is that this place is meant to be comfortable. It's not meant to be a prison. They're not meant to sit there for hours and hours at a time. Dogs are active creatures. And while shock collars are tools used to train dogs, they certainly shouldn't be used just because your dog wants to stretch. So no matter how you looked at this, whether there was a shock collar involved or not, it just looked very bad. And people weren't really getting the reassurance they were looking for from Hasan. They were very worried for Kaya because it seemed like she was being mistreated. On the same day, Hasan would go live again. And instead of giving any form of reassurance, he would instead be very salty over the fact that Moist Critical made a video about him without messaging him beforehand. What's notable here is that he didn't even bother watching the video himself. He just took his chatter's word for what was actually in the video, and they were quoting some things out of context, making it seem like Charlie was intending to conduct a character assassination, when in fact, he was, like most others, concerned about the dog's safety. That was it. This post of Hasan complaining about Moist Critical has over 26,000 upvotes on Reddit, and the top comments are all just a bunch of memes involving Hasan. And the top comments are all just...
Zeus ult now! Oh god, I love Dota so much, man.
A bunch of memes involving Hasan electrocuting his dog. I mean, look, it's horrible. I feel so sorry for the dog, and that yelp definitely hit me deep in the chest. But these memes are so creative, I just can't help but laugh. And speaking of all these memes, Hasan would so effortlessly keep supplying them with more material because his story would keep changing and he would keep coming up with different excuses that had nothing to do with the prior ones he talked about before. On October 10th, 2025, Hasan would say that, you know what, that even though he's not using a shock collar, it wouldn't be ridiculous if he did. Watch.
Like, they don't realize that even the e-collars that do shock are unironically used to train fucking like service dogs and shit.
The thing is, no one was arguing with the fact that shock collars are used to train. What people were arguing about was the fact that the dog was forced to sit there for hours and that he had seemingly used...
The dog being punished for doing something bad is not the same as you making it sit there for like 4 to 5 hours a day.
It for something so benign, so small. As one Redditor would sum this up, he'd say, so we've gone from she stubbed her paw, it's a vibration collar only, not for shocking. If it was a shock, his friends would tell us, and now shock collars aren't that bad anyway. It had barely been 72 hours and we had already gone through 4 different excuses. And this, of course, would spread this incident beyond anyone's imagination, which would end up creating even more creative memes like this one that says, breathes too loud, Thundaga. Or Hasan being Raiden over here, electrocuting Kaya, and of course him being Emperor Palpatine. So by October 11th, seeing that this has blown up way more than Hasan could have ever imagined in his wildest dreams, he would take on the perspective of a victim, saying streamers that he knows have either defended him or are scared to do it publicly, except for Moist Critical. People were simply wondering, why can't Kaya just...
So Moist is just not allowed to talk about it because he didn't consult him first? Kinda cringe. Weird thing to say.
a normal life? Why can't she just free roam around the house if she's not causing any trouble? Why must she stay locked up in prison, like just sitting there behind the scenes like a prop? Surely this can't be healthy. If you know anything about dogs, you know that they're active creatures. They need to actually move and stretch. What would Hassan's response be? I don't want to hear from people who don't understand dogs. But don't worry, okay? It's fine if you're confused, because yet another excuse would drop on October 14th, 2025. Remember how he said that his arm moved in that clip because he was reaching out for a Zin pouch? Yeah, well, it turned out that story was false. He was actually pushing the gate button, and Kaya's yelp was her reacting in excitement that she finally gets to leave. Watch.
Guys that don't even know
I didn't even know that was another narrative he fucking pushed.
Kaya's name, coming in here saying you'll be I know. Can we just move on, please? Because the memes were funny in the first couple of days, but now the only people that still are like actively pushing it are people who are genuinely mentally ill, in the way that like anytime my fucking arm moves around or like I unlock the gate or some
that was not a yelp of excitement. I don't care what you say.
Shit, like I do have a button on my desk for the gate, right? And I unlock the gate, and obviously, if you have a dog, you know this already. When they hear that the gate is unlocked, they perk up. They're like, "Oh my god, he's shocked!" Right?
That did not sound like an excited yelp. Sorry, that sounds like when my dog like pinched his nerve in his shoulder. It goes like, "Yarp." Yeah, that's like not yarp, yarp, yarp. Like my dog yarps and screams when he's happy. Absolutely, I'm not even gonna deny that. He goes like, "Woo, woo, 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 woo," and I'm like, that's not how it sounds, man.
Again, you know, it's just
no dogs yelp when they're excited. No, my dog does. He goes like, "Woo, woo, woo, woo," like super squeaky and screamy. Like you'd think he was getting hurt, but he's not.
They are weird stalkers that are demonstrating their mental illness, and I think, I think it's just, you know, it is what it is.
Now look, I don't know what your reaction to this is so far in this video. Maybe you're thinking he's 100% guilty and he's lying, or you're thinking maybe people are exaggerating and he's actually innocent. He would never harm his own dog, especially not live on stream. Well, regardless of what side you're on, most people understood the truth when he would inadvertently show the shock dog collar remote on stream when he would set up a camera above him. You really can't make this up.
Sticky.
Don't put the Y shot. Boom.
It is right here, and he's gonna notice it, and he's gonna move it immediately. Watch.
No.
Yes, I can.
Moves it real. Can you guys see it? Hold on, let me move. You guys not? Yeah, you might not be able to see it because I'm in the way. Yeah, look, it's right there, and then he moves it.
I'm protecting her. The floor is lava. All right, so at this point, it was confirmed. The shock collar remote was actually a thing, and it was exactly what he had pressed on that day. But can we confirm truly that it's a shock collar? Is it not a vibration collar? Well, everyone put their weaponized autism to good use.
It's actually impressive, man.
And actually cracked the case, finding the exact dog collar model, understanding that it is indeed a shock collar, but that it also has removable prongs. Okay, you can actually remove the prongs that shock the dog. And I mean, look at this, bro. This is like someone who is trying to find like a terrorist, like someone on the wanted list of the FBI. Like, look at all this.
Yeah.
This is crazy. The lengths people will go just to prove that it's a shock collar.
Yeah, the overexposed image
showing
too.
That this is the same exact model that he's using. But then they go on to show that he had removed the prongs the day after the shock had occurred and put tape over it. How did they prove that? Well, they fiddled around with the light levels in Photoshop and found out that yes, indeed, there is a tape, and you can kind of see the color difference between the collar itself and the black
Definitely
tape.
looks like tape too.
You can also clearly see that the shock collar remote is the same exact one on his desk as
got a
well.
little
I mean, it
dildo
was
on top,
undeniable at this point. The collar itself was the e-collar ET300 Mini Educator, and Hassan had very clearly lied, not just to his audience, but the internet in general. This was very worrying, and of course people who were fearing the worst were now fearful that he was actually abusing his dog regularly. This sense of worry empowered people who are chronically online even more to dig through past clips and find out exactly what Hassan's relationship with Kaya truly is. And honestly, from what they found, it doesn't look good at all. Now look, by this point, of course, she still had many people in denial that no, Hassan doesn't abuse his dog, and no, Kaya doesn't even stay in the same spot for that long, even though we literally saw proof of that. But I mean, if you're still doubtful, this is him straight up admitting it. Watch.
And also, one of the parts of this training
right?
is also supposed to put her, like, we're using the elevated bed, as you guys can see. And one of the things with the elevated bed is that she has a leash on right now on the elevated bed, so she can't like really get off of it. So
why
she now knows to sit in place for hours and hours on end.
Why?
Yeah, so I don't know of any situation when you own a dog where you'd want them to sit for hours on end in the same spot. This just doesn't make sense to me. Dogs are not a prop, okay? If she gets overly excited and risks hurting someone who's elderly or who's a child in the house, sure, you can just say place.
The guy has so much money. Why didn't you just hire like a dog sitter that sits at your house or something? Like, there's just so many more solutions to this. Other than tying a leash to your dog and making her sit.
Have her sit down before she starts moving again, normally for her joints and for her legs. If someone calls this animal abuse, then I wouldn't say they're exaggerating. And speaking of animal abuse, people would find another suspicious clip from his past streams where he treats Kaya in a weird way. Watch.
Absolute garbage. Did you compare this to the Japanese airport experience? Yeah, the Japanese airport experience is like everything works, everything is fast. Kaya, place.
Grabs the thing.
Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah.
What is this? Don't worry.
I mean, that's 100% right.
Man.
To many, this seemed like he was shocking her again, getting very pissed over the fact that she moved a little bit after sitting around for hours. It was yet again an exaggerated reaction, and it wasn't really warranted. But the most damning evidence that people had found from his past streams is the fact that he actually pulled on his dog's tail directly, saying, "Stay, or I'm gonna fucking kill you." This was live on stream.
So
watch this for yourself.
Motherfucker, come here. Stay. If you run right now, I'll fucking kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay? In front of everyone. Stay. Motherfucker, come here. Stay. No, come here.
So obviously this is inexcusable, right? At this point, whether you're a diehard fan of Hassan or a hater, I don't care. You can never excuse someone pulling on a dog's tail. It's extremely sensitive and can damage many of its internals. We're talking nerves in the spine. We're talking more specifically nerve damage, avulsion, and even permanent incontinence.
Yeah,
it was getting very hard to defend Hassan. At this point, this wasn't even political anymore. Sure, his political opponents were using this as an opportunity to attack his character and his political opinions, but whether you're into politics or not, I'm sure we can all agree this is unacceptable behavior. And seeing that some of his friends are the biggest content creators on Twitch and just in general, people were wondering, are they going to say something about this? Are they going to condone his behavior or actually call it out, give him some criticism, some feedback like a normal friend does? Well, no. Not at all, actually. It's very weird. You might have seen this image of Hassan dressed up as Raiden shocking Ludwig while he's wearing a dog collar, and you might literally have no idea why it exists. Well, this is of course insinuating the fact that Ludwig is Hassan's dog and he trained him very well. That's because at some point there was this very stupid controversy in which Hassan said that streaming is way harder than a regular job. This was back in
As someone who worked a 9-to-5 and has worked a retail job, no, it's not. It's hard in its own ways, but still not as hard as a 9-to-5. Not even close.
February 2024.
You could not bring
Ludwig
me
would
back,
make a video
man.
about the
I'll
situation
die.
on his Mogul Mail channel in which he talked about news, and Hassan got so pissed at him for making him look bad that he ended up cutting parts of the video to then just straight up removing it. He'd end up re-uploading it without any of the clips that were criticizing Hassan. This
What did you do, Hassan? Did you spank his booty?
Made people realize early on that even when it came to friendships, Hasan was never open to criticism. He saw everything as an attack on both his character and his entire brand, no matter who said it. Ludwig, of course, was seen like someone who was spineless, someone who couldn't hold down his own opinion, and who caved in to pressure from Hasan whenever he wanted. So, of course, it's no
Or his fans, too.
surprise to say that over a week after the clip had surfaced, Ludwig has said nothing about this, even though he's a close friend of Hasan. But that didn't matter. The person that people really wanted to hear from was Hasan's girlfriend, Valkyrae. I do want to point out that they've never officially announced that they're dating, but at this point, it's like more of an open secret, right? Valkyrae is known as someone who's very brand friendly, who's never into controversies, and whenever she does end up in one, she immediately apologizes and caves in. People were expecting, or at least hoping, for her to say something about the situation, but instead she gave a response that made people end up, well, fueling the memes even further. Watch.
Clip did look horrible. The clip was really bad. It was so bad. And it's understandable why everyone was freaking out about it, but I can verify that Kaya is the most loved and spoiled and just the most well-trained and best little baby or big baby that I have ever been around and that I have ever seen. So, big baby. But yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Didn't someone say that there's a rumor that they're dating or some shit? I don't follow IRL streamers at all, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know.
You would think that this kind of outrage, we would have seen it towards like the genocide and stuff, but
bruh! Yeah, and there's African children starving every minute. What's your point? Would you just literally said so? Sorry. ADHD moment, I guess. Sorry, this happens sometimes. My brain just...
this...
I just forgot what was said like 20 seconds ago.
Are not where they should be. But...
very weird.
But alas.
Man, this comes off as so tone deaf, like she's on a high horse. Like just because there's a genocide happening in Gaza, you don't have a right to be concerned over a dog's safety.
In Africa
there's a ceasefire that's been signed recently between Gaza and Israel. It's probably not going to last. Oh, well, still, you can't criticize Hasan or Kaya because guess what? There's another genocide currently going on in Sudan. How dare you? So evidently, this made people make fun of Valkyrae to the point of like no return. Like this was the best you could come up with to defend your boyfriend. Come on, you can do better than that. Well, the thing is, Valkyrae's viewpoint wasn't really that different from Hasan's most loyal viewers. They also thought the same exact thing. This meme was posted on Hasan's subreddit saying, I can excuse genocide, but I draw the line at animal cruelty, to which someone responds with, you can excuse genocide? Again, it's a
Nobody said that. That's a whataboutism. Keep trying.
Weird viewpoint because you can be both against genocide and against animal cruelty. I really don't see why people are acting like we're choosing here. This was never about a genocide. This was just about a dog being shocked for no reason. Valkyrae would then go live the next day and admit that she's been getting so much hate that she asked 2 streamers for advice regarding her current Reddit hate threads. One streamer by the name of NMPLol and Asmongold. Guys, I just want to show you
here we go.
What her chat's reaction is when she mentions just the name Asmongold. I just want you to see it because I can't explain it unless you look at it. Watch.
Messaged Nick Poem and I messaged Asmongold.
Her audience is frothing at the mouth. What? Asmongold was nice to you and you asked him for advice on something that he's probably pretty knowledgeable on? How dare you, you slut! Oh, I'm canceling my subscription! I'm not calling her a slut, by the way. I'm just saying that's what people would say because they're fucking freaks. Just for context.
I asked both of them. I was like, hey,
oh my god, I can't believe you did that.
Reddit a whole lot, but like, do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea if I respond to a post and be like, I understand where you guys are coming from. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I should have definitely like.
Yeah, she did nothing wrong, man. Dude, that's crazy.
Spoken.
Aspen is a Nazi. You can't go. Dude, she did nothing wrong. People. Girl, oh my god, you can't talk to the phone.
About it differently. And both of them reassured me that it's a good idea.
Look at her chat.
Ew.
Because I know they're
Fuck Asmund. Ew. You're messaging Asmongold. What the fuck? He has no useful information about dealing with drama, even though he deals with it on a daily basis, you freak. I'm canceling my sub right now. I'm unsubscribing from your YouTube, Valkyrae, you Valka bitch.
like
unbelievable, man.
I was like, they both said they're both very nice.
They are
Said,
so outraged.
Don't respond.
This is within seconds too, by the way. Imagine what's on Twitter.
It's not a good.
Yeah, audience capture.
She's so dead inside seeing her chat because now she not only pissed off Reddit, now she's pissing off her own loyal community by mentioning Asmund. By doing this, she had pissed off everyone. It's just such a disaster, dude. The next day, she would immediately apologize on stream that she DM'd
And she has to.
Asmongold,
She
saying that
has
she
to.
wasn't aware of the rhetoric that he spouted
She's gonna
and
lose
that she
her
lives
audience.
under a rock.
You saw the reaction. She kind of has to.
Even though her job is to literally be chronically online.
She should have
But you know
messaged
what's
him
funny?
twice.
The day before that, after saying that she had DM'd both NMP LOL and Asmongold, she would notice her chat getting really pissed at her, and so she'd say that she doesn't agree with everything Asmongold has been saying.
What? No way. She's a normal human being? That's crazy.
See for yourself.
What? Nah,
Ray,
that's
the hate
wild.
you're getting right now is crazy after reaching to Asmund. Guys, listen, I don't agree with
She's
many
just trying to play a game too, by the way. Can we just keep that in mind?
things that he says.
They're frothing at
but
the mouth.
I was looking for an LSF Reddit expert. I asked two people. I asked Nick and Asmund.
Wow. That's like pretty good. Do people that deal with drama. I just
And they both said to not respond to the thread because I didn't know if it was a good idea or not. Like, I don't know, man.
I feel bad for her, but she did it to herself. So it's like, you know, yeah.
just wanted advice.
You did it to
I
yourself.
didn't know what
You
to
shouldn't have said it was Asmund, probably. He doesn't need the credit or anything, but I guess it just kind of slipped out. I don't blame her. Maybe she was like, oh, you know, Asmund would know about this kind of shit.
You.
Yep.
I'm just gonna get hate no matter what I do, bro. I
Shouldn't
don't
have said
know.
anything.
So, which is it? Are you really living under a rock? Or are you just pretending to be outraged because your community's outraged? I'm just gonna go with the latter, just, you know, based on your past history.
Yeah.
You know, it sucks because I don't think Valkyrae is a bad person. I just think that she suffers from the problem many of her friends suffer from, where they give too much power to their community, where they can literally get bullied by them if they do something they don't like. And by this point, people found it very hard to take her seriously. In fact, she became the subject of ridicule, just like Hassan. This is when she would become a part of the memes. Hassan when Kaya takes one step.
Well, there's nothing over here to fix. That's crazy.
It's a taser. Oh, she's playing the new pool game.
Yeah, don't worry. This was my face when I saw Kaya getting tased too. Another streamer from the big clique of streamers of Los Angeles would also defend Hassan, saying he is a good dog owner, even though she admits in her statement that they're literally acquaintances, that she doesn't know him that well. But
Nah, that's some glaze. That you are bouncing on that so hard.
the big
You're
bombshell here was
bouncing
when the
on it.
podcast Sweet and Sour, ran by Pokimane and Lily Pichu, two very big content creators also based in LA and part of Hassan's friend group, would post a small update on their Patreon saying, "Hey taste buds, this is a tough one to write, but we wanted to give you all a heads up that we're unfortunately going to be missing our first scheduled Saturday video tomorrow. We've been watching the recent drama unfold considering our guest, and it's been getting intense. We had a serious talk as a crew and we all agreed that it did not feel right uploading tomorrow's video at this moment in time. Our community is our favorite thing, and the reason we do this is to create a space that is comfy as always and a true escape. We do not want to impact the cozy
talked about
atmosphere we've
this.
all built together. Thanks for always supporting our vision for a fun, positive place to hang out. See you all next week. Sweet and Sour staff." So Hassan was meant to get on the Sweet and Sour podcast with both Lily Pichu and Pokimane, and the episode was meant to come out around this time. They decided not to release it because he was getting a lot of backlash. Honestly, I don't really agree with this decision, right? This only feels like they're throwing their friend under the bus purely because they don't want to get dislikes. But honestly, it doesn't matter. If you bring Hasan on a podcast, it will get mass dislike. That's just how it is. Like when he got on the Trash Taste podcast in the beginning of this year, look at this like to dislike ratio.
Because he had a retarded take,
50,000 comments. This is insane. Point is, Hasan had many haters even before the whole shock collar incident, so I don't see why, as close friends of his, this would matter, right? Seeing that they don't really have a problem with his dog getting shocked for no reason. Thing is though, things got even more complicated because then Pokimane would tweet out, the episode was supposed to air as usual, but staff refused to upload it out of fear it'd cause drama, and also posted this statement without my approval.
And you threw them under the bus, man. That's crazy. Yeah, to save face, and now your rabid fans are gonna go after the people that like work for you. I don't know, man. I couldn't. Unless it was truly like, oh, you went behind my back. I'd be pissed too if that was actually true. I don't know, man. I don't buy it. It's my opinion.
Sorry, guys. We'll talk about everything on this week's episode and go on a hiatus afterwards to restructure. So, Pokimane made this out to be a mistake. Staff went behind hers and Lily Pichu's backs. And now she was going to go on a hiatus and restructure. In other words, fire people in this wonderful economy. Wow. Look at this meme right here. Look at this.
Oh, no.
Anyway, it seemed like Pokimane was truly trying to save face here. It was a desperate attempt because 2 days before that tweet, she would make an Instagram story saying, quick update, recording a new podcast episode Thursday to explain why we missed last week and have an honest chat. Huh, interesting. Now, of course, people have their own theories and speculations, like maybe Hasan messaged her and was very outraged at the fact that they're not uploading the podcast episode and wanted to throw her staff under the bus to not get on his bad side. Overall, regardless of the speculation or the real reason, she lied, okay? Straight up lied and threw her staff under the bus. So just like Valkyrae, she ended up seeing controversy, tried to recover, and ended up pissing everyone at the same time instead. Wonderful. The rest of Hasan's friends would go on to invite him over for a little podcast.
Doesn't she have a PR team? Like, who told her to do this? Now you just pissed both sides off. Could have just pissed off one side.
And defend him very openly that they've never seen him shock his dog. Watch.
Oh, I care. So you've probably been asked too. People keep coming in our chat and they're like,
go to Austin's chat.
They go to poor rickety old Austin show who's barely getting up in the morning.
Why are you hanging out with a dog abuser?
Yeah.
I would like to make it clear. I don't believe that Hasan has abused a dog.
No, I also don't believe that either because I bore witness to how you treat her and you treat her much better than me.
I mean, you can use that same logic for not being able to see people's abuse. Again, we don't know. I'm not omniscient. But just because you don't see it for yourself doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I don't know, man. That is not what I would have said.
So, this is really interesting because, of course, these are more of his friends defending him, completely ignoring the clip, all the proof that was accumulated so far. But interestingly enough, the reason why a lot of people were going to Austin's chat in particular asking him about this was because he very openly collabed with Hasan on his own stream when Kaya was in the background. Now look at this clip of Kaya going under the feet of Hasan, him getting pissed off that she's not sitting in the same spot for hours. And as Austin is sitting right next to him, you could very clearly hear the sound of a shock.
Was the cage when we were young too. Hey, out.
And right here.
Place. Kaya, place. Go.
What is that click?
Oh. No, place. Enough of this madness. Look.
No, I haven't seen that clip before, but goddamn, bro.
Look at how dead inside his friend looks. Look at how dead inside Austin looks. He says firsthand he was there and never saw a shot.
I still think it's
so are we just lying now?
Gum? I don't know.
Friends that has said
chewing gum? You think it's a chewing gum click? I don't know. That sounded like a not chewing gum. Chewing gum doesn't sound like that. I thought it was his mouth. I don't know. It could have been a really bad thing. I don't know.
Nothing and has been getting a lot of indirect flack is Maya Higa, someone who owns an animal sanctuary.
I don't what is it called? I don't chew nicotine gum, so I don't know, maybe it does.
California and cares a lot about animals. Now look, I'll sit here and say harassment is bad no matter how it's done, no matter who it's done to. I don't encourage it, I don't condone it, and I think it should stop. But at the same time, it shows how much anger is in people's minds right now, seeing how this dog's being treated and seeing that all his friends, including someone who owns an animal sanctuary, isn't saying anything. Well, they would have so openly said something if it was another streamer, just not Hasan. But look, even with all that being said, and as much as Valkyrae would want to say that she lives under a rock, his friends were very well aware of the controversy going on and how their silence was contributing to a negative image of their brand. This prompted more of them to start talking about the situation, but of course, they would only make it substantially worse.
You can't control all of these people and what they say because they're not going to follow the script. You're not, like, you can't be, even if you're a control freak, you can't control people that much. This clip is so funny.
Cutie Cinderella, who is Ludwig's girlfriend and who is one of Hasan's friends, would confirm that she went to his house to check the collar. She thought she was helping him by saying this, but
this clip is so funny.
What she ended up saying actually ended up sabotaging him beyond belief. Watch.
No, there's no shock. Like, the electric prongs are taken out of it.
But here's my thing, right?
Like, it's only a vibrate. Like, there's a setting for vibrate and there's a setting for shock.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So there's only the, like, since the prongs are in it only vibrates.
So all of a sudden we went.
It's not very smart. I can definitely see it's just not very smart.
And from
if I was Hasan, I'd be mauling the fuck out.
Just the vibration collar to no, actually the prongs were taken out. So this is indeed the shock collar. At this point, people could just keep saying he said, she said, whatever. That's why he should have shown it on the first day, right? The theory now is that he took out the prongs on the second day when the controversy was blowing up beyond his wildest dreams. But she pretty much had confirmed that this was indeed the electrical shock model. However, she wasn't really the only friend who completely screwed him over without really meaning to.
I haven't seen this.
Caroline Kwan, a streamer and the girlfriend of Hasan's best friend, would claim that she's someone who has dog-sitted Kaya before and that no, this is not a shock collar in any way. Going completely against what Cutie Cinderella just said. Watch.
I know it probably doesn't matter to you because you're going to believe what you want to believe and from the sources you want to believe it from. And that's why, like, doesn't matter what I or anyone else says, but it's not a shock collar. I've seen that collar. I've used that collar before. I've babysat that dog.
So which one is it? Is it a shock collar? Is it a shock collar with the prongs taken out with tape on it? Or is it not a shock collar at all? I just don't get it, dude. I don't think
he should have written them a script if he really wanted to save FaZe, because they're all defending him and giving him different stories. It's like an alibi thing. It's like, oh no, Bob was over there. He wouldn't have done something to the dog. He was doing this at 2 p.m. And it's like, oh no, actually he came at 1 p.m. It's like, oh my God, man.
His friends realize that every time they open their mouth without getting their story straight, they're making him look way worse. It's like, can we just get to the bottom of this and move on already? Of course not, because now people are thinking, well, okay, who lied? Is it Cutie Cinderella who's lying, or is it Caroline who's lying? Because they both have different stories. Man, whatever. Check this meme out. POV, you're Hasan's dog and you step 1 foot off your bed.
Of America's much more consequential violence. Okay? It's the same reason as the
there we go.
America. Kaya, please just...
It's so stupid. In the end, what I find so funny is that Hasan had openly made fun of pirate software back during his controversy. A narcissist just like him who never was able to take any criticism or feedback correctly. And now
pirate software didn't do anything that bad. He just fucking lied and over-exaggerated his ego and pumped up his ego. And he was a dick, but he didn't lie about having a shock collar and a dog and shocking it or whatever, man. You didn't work at Blizzard. I mean, that's pretty bad, but like, you know.
Finds himself in the same exact situation. I mean, look at this.
With the things that I talk about. So, see, you're totally a video game understander. Yeah, I think like, as far as I understand, like the pirate software stuff, like if he had just simply stood aside and was like, I fucked up, you know? And took ownership over it, like it never would have exploded to the degree that it did.
That's kind
made this up. If Hassan had simply taken accountability, if he stepped back and said, you know what, listen, I screwed up, maybe I overdid it, maybe I was having a bad day, I'll make very substantial changes to the way I treat my dog so that I don't abuse her, then hey, maybe we wouldn't have reached this point. But him denying it and making up different excuses and just deflecting in such a stupid way while having all his friends root for him, knowing that he's wrong, this had the complete opposite effect. And that's what brought us here, to the point where it's now a global phenomenon. Like, look at this guy making a straight up Roblox level called Hasanabi Dog Simulator, right? Where if you step out of this box,
you die.
Look at this. You just get shot. You just die. These memes have been so creative. I mean, look at this RuneScape meme where you
they even dressed him up like it. Put a chain around his neck and the hair and the glasses.
Dog. Zap! I mean, even Ninja had something to say about this, right? Ninja, who typically stays out of drama. Watch.
Yeah, I have a collar on. Don't worry, guys. It's not a shot collar.
It's just a Scooby-Doo collar.
Raggy, don't rock me.
So look, after this whole debacle, where do we find ourselves now? Did Hassan admit anything or apologize? No, of course not.
No.
But seeing how much controversy had built up around this, now he feels forced to let Kaya walk around whenever she wants to. Watch for yourself.
We've finally gotten to a place where, like, oh, pure peace is taking place. It's taking place. Is I don't know what you're doing. Okay, what?
Oh, you're wagging your tail. I'm so
What?
cute.
What?
This dog is really cute, though. I'm not gonna lie. This dog is really, really cute.
The chutzpah, if you will.
That's a perfect little
Was it
dog.
that hard, man? Was it really that hard?
That's
Seriously,
what I'm
come on, man. You made it seem like it was a gargantuan.
Like, my dog, like, just sometimes he barges into my stream room. Like, just straight up just goes like, and I'm like, buddy, like, what the fuck? And then he comes over and I scratch him. I scratch his back a little bit, and then he sits down, and then he might leave after 2 minutes. I know it's distracting, and he has a relatively high pressure job where he has to, like, say the right thing at the right time. I understand. But it's a dog. Like, it's not that big a deal.
When task. Finally, Kaya is free. God. And finally, yes, even though this is a ridiculous situation and has many funny memes made around it, I do have to mention that this situation turned very political very fast.
Oh yeah,
The New York Post wrote about this, and of course the title is Lefty Twitch Streamer Hassan Piker and is...
That's so fucking retarded. What? Oh my god. Bro, it doesn't matter that he's left or right. Oh my god, he zapped his dog. Like, it's just all just clickbait and rage bait.
Israel national news, right? Even though the hostages have just been released and they have many more things to report on, decided to make an article called Anti-Israel Twitch Streamer Hassan Piker accused of using shock collar on dog. So if you're wondering why there's so many people who refuse to believe this, it's because if they do, then in their mind, it's admitting that their entire political compass is wrong. That's how politics work these days. If someone on your side who's influential does something wrong, it makes everyone look bad. So it's better to never admit it. This isn't just exclusive to one side of the political spectrum. It's every political spectrum at this point. That's the age we live in. So am I surprised? No. Do I care? No. The only thing I'd like to come out from this is, well, the dog being okay. That's pretty much it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching until the end. Hope you enjoyed the memes. Make sure to use the code Mujin for 10% off gamer subs. They make some really cool products. And I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is, which will probably be the 1,000-page Cinder document that is ridiculous. It's a pain in the ass to read. And I'm hopefully aiming to finish the video by maybe the end of the month. We'll see. Love you so much. Mwah.
Video. Thanks, Mujin. Thank you. Guys, go check them out. From the fridge to the TV, Kaya will be free. Man, that's a good one. That's not bad. What is it, like from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free? That's where it's from.